Hey, what is going on, all of you moderately attractive people? My name is Landown AE, and it is that time of week again. I'm doing another Warpath episode. For those of you who have not seen any of my previous Warpath episodes, this series is just a series where I talk about the storyline, but not the storyline any of you would see in any of the games. It is the storyline of the backstory, the stories you could only know about if you read the books, read the comics, or anything like that. So, today I'm going to be talking about the relationship between the Fenix and the Santiago families, so I'm just going to get straight into it. So, when Marcus was... I have some notes right here, because it's really... This particular subject is really hard to, like in the past episodes I've talked about stuff just from memory, for the most part, like some stuff I've written notes on. But this had so many events that you had to really get in order for you to understand it that I kind of had to write some notes down. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start talking now because you're probably already bored. So when Marcus was about 9 and 10 years old, he arrived at the Olafson Intermediate School, which is basically public pro-military school. Pretty much. It's a military school, but you don't have to do any military work or anything like that. It's pro-military. So Marcus went to the Olafson Intermediate School after being homeschooled for basically his entire life. Adam Fenix, which is obviously his dad. If you don't know that, you're pretty retarded. Adam Fenix wanted him to mix with people because Marcus wasn't very social. He wasn't a really social person, but he was hyper intelligent. Like, it may not seem like it in the games because the games don't really follow the Gears of War storyline per se, but Marcus is hyper intelligent. Like, he knows a shit ton. So, being hyper intelligent, Marcus was very tall and thin and very quiet. But this quiet way about him and his rich background bring the attention of bullies who thought he was just really smug and arrogant, and it brought the attention of Carlos Santiago. Carlos, being raised right, defended Marcus because he didn't talk to him yet, and Carlos wasn't one to quickly judge somebody. So, at lunch, Carlos sat with Marcus, who was sitting alone off in the table in the corner. He was sitting alone just to make sure he didn't feel alone or picked on or anything like that. And they talked for a bit. They talked about Marcus's dad, the world famous Adam Fenix. And they talked about how their families had a lot of military history. This caught the attention of bullies, thinking Carlos only tried to be friends with Marcus just to get to his money. And so later on that day, in gym class, they were playing a game of thrashball, and Carlos picked Marcus first for his team just because he actually really did like Marcus as a friend. So he picked Marcus first for his team. I lost my play. During this game, a bully tackled Marcus harder than he honestly needed to, and this really angered Carlos, and he defended Marcus outright, saying it wasn't fair how they were treating him and stuff like that. And then the bullies kind of turned on Carlos. So after class, Marcus and Carlos were the last ones in the locker room, and Marcus told Carlos not to worry about him, but Carlos said that he kind of needs to because it's just not fair how the bullies were treating him. So, at that point, Marcus had left, thinking Carlos was just going to keep on getting ready on his own. But then 3 large bullies attacked Carlos for defending Marcus. But only one bully one bully punched Carlos in the face, and then all 3 of them started punching Carlos, and then Carlos and the 3 bullies started exchanging blows. But before he could punch Carlos, the one bully could punch Carlos again, Marcus came out of nowhere, knocked out the one bully in one punch, and then smashed the other bully's head onto the ground, and scaring off the other one. Then he just yelled at the top of his lungs. He just warned the other bully never to screw with Carlos or him ever again. And he helped Carlos up. Carlos thanked him and asked him where he learned to fight. And Marcus said he just picked it up on his own. This is really given no specifics. Carlos and Marcus quickly became friends after this incident. So, I think it was like that weekend when Marcus first brings Carlos to his house / mansion, the Adam Fenix estate, Carlos describes this whole incident to his mom. This is the exact quote. I had to look it up, but this is the exact quote. "I swear I thought the place was a museum when I walked in. I mean, it was huge, full of books and old paintings, and deserted. You know? That kind of dead silence that says, just shut your mouth and of history." And then Marcus's mom came out through the door like she hadn't even seen us, reading some papers she had in her hand, and she says, "Hi, sweetheart, you brought home some friends? I'll catch up with you later." Then she was gone. I saw the look on Marcus's face, and I knew right then and right there that guy needed a brother a whole lot more than he needed a library. So, after this, Carlos invites Marcus over to his house, the Santiago household. This is where Marcus spends most of his time, is at the Santiago household, which is in sharp contrast to the Fenix household. And Marcus basically becomes an honorary Santiago because Carlos kind of explained the whole situation to his mom. That quote I had earlier, he was describing the whole incident of going over to his house. That was him describing that to his mom and dad, and his mom and dad felt sorry for Marcus. So, yeah, they kind of took him in under their wing and loved him just like their own child, basically. This is where Dom and Marcus first meet. The Santiago family is a very close and understanding family, which is why they take in Marcus after Carlos describes them about this whole situation of parents putting their work ahead of family. And so a few years later, when Carlos's dad, Eduardo Santiago, was working on a broken down car with Marcus, Dom, and Carlos, Eva Santiago, I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name, or her name, which was Eva Santiago, was Dom's mother, got a call from Adam Fenix. The call saying his mother has disappeared. Eva calls Marcus in, and when Carlos tries to follow, his mother refuses him, saying it's too important, you can support your friend later. A few minutes later, a limo pulls in the driveway, and Marcus walks out of the house, not saying a word, not making eye contact, gets into the limo, and drives off. And this is really sad because Adam Fenix sent a limo over to get Marcus. He didn't drive over himself, he didn't even ride in the limo. He sent the limo over to get him, which is kind of sad because it shows how emotionally distant the Fenix family is from each other. And so Marcus didn't show up to school the next day or the day after that or the day after that, but then he started showing up again and continued school after that. A few days later, while sitting on the front steps of the school, Marcus said that his mom wasn't coming back, and this really shocked Dom and Carlos that were sitting with him, because Marcus hadn't even mentioned his mother for the last couple days, and they were too afraid to ask him, fearing it would upset him. And he said his mom wasn't coming back, and that Adam wouldn't tell him anything other than she just went missing. Carlos and Dom did their best to support Marcus, who felt his dad was really lying to him, which he was, and he never fully admitted how she died, but Marcus found out anyway. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to end it there because I'm going to do probably a 2 to 3 part episode on this, because there's so much more information that I can give to you guys about Marcus and Carlos's relationship with each other. And yeah, there's just a ton of information. I think it's pretty cool that Marcus was not originally friends with Dom, but after... I'll leave that till the next episode. So anyway, guys, I hope you liked this episode of Warpath. I hope it was interesting to you. Leave a like, leave a comment. Leave a comment about something that you want to know more about. Because I'm all about fan service. I want to know what you guys want to know about, what you're curious about, what you don't fully understand. And I will do my best to kind of, lay it out and explain it to you the best I know how. And don't ask questions like, where did the locust come from, or who is the locust queen? Is she human? Because I can't answer those questions because those are just, they never elaborate on any of that. So, yeah, just ask me any questions you guys need clarification on some kind of subject on Gears of War history. But anyway, guys, I hope you like this commentary. I'm just going to end it on that note. This has been Landown AE, and I will talk to you guys later.